welcome back to Stylish Niger YouTube channel. Today's video that I'm actually going to be doing is a v-neck and peplum blouse. I actually wore it in one of my videos, and most of my subscribers and my ardent followers, they actually requested for it. It has highly been requested for. So today I'm going to be showing you how to couple this v-neck peplum dress. I've already folded my fabric into two. This is the front piece and then this is the back piece. And for you to determine how to fold your fabrics, you measure the bust of the person. You measure the bust circumference. You divide it into four and then add like 5 inches. So like this, the bust for this dress, for this illustration, is actually 36. It's actually 36. So when you divide 36, you have 9 inches. When you divide into 4, you have 9 inches. Then I now added 5 inches to it. So this is 9 inches. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, I even added about 5.5. So most times I always like to do it like that, so I don't run into any problem. So you add 5 is standard, which will not land you into any problems. So the next thing I will be doing, I've already indicated some lines on my pattern, sorry, on my fabrics, so I'll explain to you as I go along. For a breast cut, when you're doing a breast cut, because the dress, you can actually see it is a breast cut, even with the style, it is a breast cut. So I did it a breast cut pattern. So most times what you normally do is measure the length, as in the breast point, and then the under bust. That is key. Without that, everything will go wrong. This is as in for beginners. That's why I'm explaining like this, for you to really understand. So you take your tape like this and then you measure. When you get to where your nipple is, you measure it and then you bring the tape under. Like what I have here, I actually have 11 and then I have 14 under. So this line, this first line now, this is my 11 line, which is here, which is this point. This is 11, and then this is 14, which is here. This point is 14, just directly under is 14. Then I now added 1 inches, that's 15, because I actually want my cut. I don't want it to be directly under here, so my cut, I want it to be here. So that's the essence of this 1 inches line that I added to this 14. So this is 15, and then 2 inches. This extra is 2 inches. That's for my seam allowance. 1 inch for the top, 1 inch for the down part. So that's my seam allowance. So that's just the lines that I've indicated here. So for this dress, like as you can see, what I actually did with it, I actually made it after sewing. I placed on top and then matched on top. That's what I did. I matched it on top. So I'll explain. I'm going to be sewing it, so make sure you watch this video to the end so you see how I actually fixed and coupled it. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be like I told you initially, I said my bust is actually 36 inches, but for most breast cut, always make sure you measure your bust span. Bust span is usually from here, that's from one of this nipple to the other. That's what is called bust span. And for mine, I have 8 inches. So when you divide 8 into 2, you actually have 4 inches. So normally on normal standard, I'm supposed to use 4.5, but because of this pattern, the way I'm going to be sewing this breast cut, because I'm going to be stitching from the inside and then turning and stitching together, not the normal regular sewing, I'm going to be using 5 inches, so I don't run into problem. I don't want at the end my bust span to be small, so I'll be using 5 inches. So I'll just take my tape like this and then measure 5 inches. So that's what I'm using as my bust span, 5 inches from here. I'll just run it from all the way from up down. This is 5 inches. So I'll take my ruler like this and just connect them together. So I'll connect them together this way. So I'll connect them together. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be taking out my dart. So for the dart, for the up part, I'll use 1 inch from here. This top part, that's the top right part, I'll use 1 inch. And then for the left side, I'll use half an inch. I'll just take half an inch like this for this left side, half, and the right 1 inches. Then I'll come down to the down part like this. I'll take 1 inch from this right, that's the down part. I'll take 1 inch from this down part and then take 1 inch from this side, also from the left and from the right, 1 inch. This is for the dart. Then I'm going to be bringing it to this bust point here. So I'm going to be taking this line, I'll just take it like this down to this point, and then it comes back here because I'm actually going to be removing it. So this serves as the dart for a breast and cut. So that's for beginners that actually don't know. So I'll take my tape, my chalk like this, and then connect this point to this 1 inch here. I'll connect it like this, and then take like this again from those brush points and connect it again, 1 inch, 1 inch. Then from here I'm going now to my half an inch. I'll just take it like this to my half an inch. I'll bring it back, I'll connect. So what you see, what I have now, I have like this now. For this, that's like this, and then like this. Then for this is going like this, and then it is going to join the 1 inch on this side. So I'll just take it like this, and then just roll it like this. It should not be too sharp. This point should not be too sharp, so you just join it like this. So I have, what I have now is like this to this point, and then like this, and then this from here, and then this. So I'll be cutting it off. After cutting it off, before I now take the full actual measurement. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, this is the back piece, and then this is the this is the front. So this is the back and the front. So I'll place the front on top of the back like this. I'll place it like this, and then take this one. This is the middle piece now. This is my middle piece, and then take it. I'll place it like this. I'll place it on top. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be taking out my full body measurement. This is for the back piece, that's for beginners. I have the back part is a little bit bigger than the front. This with 2 inch, that 2 inch serves as your zipper allowance for the back. So that's the essence of this. So I'll take my tape. The shoulder for this measurement for this dress is actually 14 inches. So when you divide 14 into 2, you actually have 7 inches. So I'll take my tape like this and place, and then this is my 7 inches here. You can actually use 2 inches as your allowance, or you use 1. So I'll just go with 2 inch here. That's for the shoulder allowance. Then from the shoulder measurement, I'll take my tape like this and place here, and then measure 8 inches. That's for my armhole, and this 8 inches can also serve as your chest line. So I'll just make my curve like this. You can actually use your curve. So you take it that way. Then the bust measurement, I told you, I said 36. So when you divide 36 into 4, you have 9 inches. So you take your tape like this and place on just below the armhole. You take it like this, and then you measure 9 inches. This is 9 inches. You just indicate like this, and then for the allowance, that for the same allowance, I'm actually going to be using, you can use 3 inches, you can use 4, you can use 3.5. I'm actually going to be using 3.5. I always like working with excess allowance, so I'll make use of 3.5. You can make use of 2, so it depends on you, but since I'm going to be sewing and turning, so I'm making use of 3.5. Then for the under bust measurement for this dress, which is this point, that's the under bust. Always make sure you measure. So the under bust, that's this point. The under bust measurement is actually 30 inches. So when you divide 30 again into 4, you have 7.5. So I'll take my tape like this and then place like this. This is my 7.5 inches. I'll mark it like this and then take my tape again and then measure. This is my 3.5 allowance, and then connect my lines like this. Connect. Then for the down part, which is the peplum part, this side is really crucial. Most times you see people, they make peplum top, you find that it's not fitted. That's because they don't measure. So always measure the point where you're going to be cutting your peplum from, where the cut is actually going to be. When you get to that point, take your tape like this and make sure you measure that point, the exact point. You always make sure you measure, so that gives it that fit and firm. So what I have here is 32 inches. So when you divide 32 again into 4, you have 8 inches. So I took my tape like this and then place. This is my 8 inches like this. And then for this part, I'm actually going to be reducing it to 3 inches now for my allowance. That's for the down part. So I'll just mark it like this. So you can see this is my blouse measurement. So I'll just take my tape like this and then cut out. So the neck for this dress, for the front neck, I'm actually not going to be cutting the front neck. Like you can see, this is what I actually have here. You can see this is the full dress. When it's not cut, that's this middle piece like this. This is it full. I didn't cut it, so it's just like this, straight up like this, so without removing the neck. So when you sew, that's when you now bend and then you now get this. So that's what I'm actually going to be doing with this top part. As I sew, I'm actually going to be dropping it like this. I will drop it, the neck, I'm going to be dropping it. I'll show you in the video how to couple it. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is the back neck. So since I'm not cutting the front, I'm just going to be leaving the front neck like this. For the back neck, I'm actually going to be, you open up the back piece. I open it up. Before I open it up, okay, I open it up like this, and then before I cut the neck, I'm going to be doing the back dart. For this back piece, you can decide to do your normal regular dart like I normally, so you can decide to do your normal regular dart. But most of my dresses, I always like opening from the top to the bottom. So I'll just take my tape like this and then maintain this line, make a mark here using this as my measurement. I'll just take and then come to the up part also and then mark from the top part also. So the next thing I'm going to do now, just run with my ruler. I'll just run a straight line from the top. I'll just run it down and then cut out. So I cut out, and then from this right hand side, I'll just take half an inch like this, quarter of an inch, actually just a quarter of an inch, and then just cut it out. What is the essence of this cut out that I'm doing? Is because of the bulge. I don't want the back to have a bulge, so that is the essence. I'll just cut it out like this and just trim it out. So I trim that out. So that is that. Then for the neck, the back neck measurement, like I told you, I'll just take my tape like this and then measure 3 inches. You know, I already have 4. You know, I already have 2 inch here already. So I'll just take like this. This is actually the 2 inch. That's for the zipper allowance. I'll just take my tape like this and then measure 3 inches like this, and then mark it like this, and then come down, because I don't want the back neck, I don't want it to be too deep. So I just take like this and then measure 3.5 inches. So I'll just bring it like this. I actually want a round neck, so just curve it like this and then cut out. So that's for the back. So this is for the back neck measurement. So that's it. And then my shoulder slant. Always don't forget to put your shoulder slant. So for the shoulder slant, since the front part, I'm actually going to be making use of it. So I'm not going to be slanting the shoulder for this front piece. So I'm just going to be slanting from this side. So I'll just take my tape like this. You measure. Most times what I normally do, I normally use half an inch. You can decide to use 1 inch. Depends on what works for you. So I just stick like this and then just plant it out. So that's that. So the next thing I'll do now, I'll take it to my ironing table, cut out my gum stand, my hairstay as my interface, iron on it, because you can see it is a padded dress, and pad it and then come back and show you how I'm going to be coupling it. As you can see, I'll finish ironing the hairstay on it, on the fabric. This is the front piece, and then this is the back. This is the back piece. So these are the lining, the interfacing for it. Like I forgot to tell you, like you see this dress, you see the interface that I used for the inside is the same fabric. So you cut the middle piece, this is the middle piece, you cut another one, exact same one. That is what I'm going to be using to turn it. So that's what I'll be using as my interface for this middle piece. So it will be like this, because if I say let me use this blue for the interface, when you turn like this, when you turn it like this, it is this blue that will be here. So I don't want it. So because I don't want it, you can decide to choose to use another fabric for inside. That will be a different style. I think I've made something like that for someone before. So you can decide to do that. So but for this, I just decided to use the same fabric, so it will be like this. So the next thing I'll do now, I'll take it to my machine now and then sew this way. I'll take it to my machine, I'll turn it wrong, right side like this, and then sew like this. I'll sew like this whole part. I'll sew. The only part that I'm going to be leaving, that's this down part, that's this part I'm going to be leaving. So I'll sew like this. That's for the middle piece. Then for the side piece, that's this side piece, I'll take the interface like this and then place also like this for this, sorry, this for this, and then I'll sew like this. I'll sew this part here like this down. I'll sew this part, so I'll join this part straight like this. I'll join this part to do it separately. So you note that I've not coupled it. You know, in normal breast, for normal breast cut, what we normally do is you couple like this, you join like this before you now couple your lining separately. You couple the fabric separately before you turn. But for this tie, you coupled separately. So you couple this, like I told you, you couple all the edges and leave it down. Then for this also, you couple all the edges also and then leave the down parts, and then you leave the down part. You do the same to this side. Then when I'm done, I'll come back and then show you how to couple the side piece to the middle piece. So I'll take it to my machine now. I'll join it and then iron it. Then as I'm sewing it on the machine, as I'm coupling it, the final coupling on the machine, you'll see it. So okay, welcome back, guys. As you can see, I finished coupling it like I told you. I sewed along this line the three edges and left the down part, and then for this I sewed this part. I actually left this part, this side part. You can still decide to sew it, but I just decided to leave it. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be coupling it like this, so you see how I got this flap over here. So what first, I'll take it to my machine, but first let me just explain what I'm going to be doing. I'm actually going to be sewing from this top, from up here. I'll leave half an inch from this part. I'll sew it down. I'll just put it on top like this and then trace it down and then just match it with a plain matching thread down to this side. And then for this side also, I'll also leave half an inch, just a quarter of an inch actually. That's for me to be able to join the shoulder. That's the essence. And then just place like this and then stitch on top with a clean matching thread. So now I'll take it to my machine and couple it, and then you see how I got this flap, how I got this, actually got this flap like this. So I'll take my for this side, for this left side, I'll actually start sewing from down because I really want it to be very neat. So I'll start matching it on top from the down part. I just place it like this. So when you get to this point, you stop, and then you back stitch. You can see this is the 1/4 of an inch that I told you. This is what you use for the shoulder. This is the part you use for the shoulder, so that's why I left it like this. Then for this part, this is actually the part that is going to be flipping down this way. For this part, I'm actually going to start sewing from the top. That's for this side. I'll actually start sewing from the top. So I'll just start like this. I'm not going to be back stitching it because actually I'm going to be losing it when I'm done. I'll measure how deep I want it to be, and then I'll lose and open. So before then, I'll just go like this. I can actually start sewing from anywhere. So I'll start like this. Just place on top. So I'm actually measuring. I'm actually going to be stopping at 8. That's where this part that I'm going to lose it. So I'm actually going to start my stitching from here. That's my tight stitch. So I'll just go like this. And then back stitch. So this is it. So like I told you initially, this is the crucial part now. So I'm going to be losing, I'll lose this part up to this place. Like I told you, you can always measure how deep you actually want it to be. You can measure. Like I said, I'm using 8 inches. This one is actually 8 inches, so I'll be stopping at 8. So you can choose to flip it from left to right or right to left. That depends on actually what you want. So like I told you initially, I said 8 inches. That's where I'm going to be stopping. So I'll just open my stitch like this way. I'll just open it back. And then this is my 8 inches. So I'll just stop it like this. This is actually my 8 inch. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to just back stitch it like this. I just top stitch, sorry. I just top stitch it like this. I just top stitch and then stop, and then I'll take it to my ironing table. This is it. So simple and fine. And then you just iron. This is it. So this is now the neck. You see the neck is looking like V, decided V. So that's just the secret of how this side cape is being done. So this is how it is being done. So the next thing I'll do now, couple the back. This is actually the back. This is actually the back. So I'll couple it together. I'll couple, see the inside, you can see how it is. This is the middle, this is the back. So what I'm going to be doing now, like I told you, you see this quarter of an inch that I left. So that's what will enable me to join my shoulder from this side and then this side and then join this other side. So this is it. So I'll couple it and then I'll come back and show you the completed dress. So like I said, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, like my video, and share my video. If you're actually having any problem concerning this video, don't hesitate to just drop a comment down on the comment section below. So thank you so much for watching. The other part is just the peplum part. You can watch other of my videos of how to cut a peplum. So thank you so much and bye.